Hello, my name is Austin, the young king, if you will, young king Cucinato. Thanks for clicking on this video. The premise of what you're about to see in this video is I spin this wheel on my phone. The topic comes up. For example, one that you will see in this video is Bont is a better footballer than Paddy Cripps. Regardless of if you agree with that point or not, myself, Basil and Mui, the boys from Ruck Rovers, we have a flip of the coin, and the person who gets the heads or the tails in their favour decides what side of the argument they want to take. So you could be left arguing a point that you do not agree with. You get a minute to go, and the third out of myself, Basil and Mui, is the judge. You will work it out along the way. If you do like it, and drop a sub. Appreciate it a lot. Yeah, enjoy. Oh, Damien
What have we got?
Hardwick, if he coached Essendon for 3 years, would win a final. I've also got a flip the coin app. This is on this iPhone 5.
Ancient technology.
Mui, your call, heads or tails?
Tails, mate.
Oh, all right, come on. That's heads. You choose what you want to argue. Doesn't have to be what you believe. Choose what you want to argue.
I'm going to go 4.
So you think he would. You're going to take he would.
I'm going to take he would. You can go first.
All right, so I'm arguing that Damien Hardwick cannot win a final with Essendon's list currently.
Yeah.
Take it away, sir.
All right, well, I don't think Dimmer can win a final with Essendon's current list because Essendon clearly have a bit of a culture problem, first and foremost, when it comes to winning big games and winning finals. And I'm not saying that this is a club ravaged thing, but I'm saying I'm not sure any coach would be able to get this current list over the line. I mean, we're talking that there is some very, very good young players. We look at Sardis, we look at some of these other boys who are coming through with Kako, Caddy, it looks like a pretty good forward line. But I don't know if Dimmer or any coach in the league would be able to utilise a list that's just not quite elite enough to not only get them to September action, but to actually win a final. I think that, I don't know. I just think that the list isn't quite there. And I think that any sort of coach wouldn't be able to get the job done at this current point in time. Let's say in a few years what would happen. But Dimmer, Alistair Clarkson, I don't know if anyone could.
Perfect timing. That's pretty good.
Wow.
What's
Very
my
good,
favourite
young
answer? But
Basil, you got a tough gig to follow, mate.
He did better than I thought, so I'm a bit nervous, but we'll take it away.
That was good. Especially first one.
I
On
know.
the channel, I just chuck you boys in the deep end and just fly 'em. Take it away.
All right. I'm going to try and use your argument as little as possible, but I truly think that Dimmer took a Richmond team with talent, but also a lot of nobodies, and made them into somebodies and turned them into a dynasty. And I understand your cultural point, but I don't see why he couldn't take this team of absolutely capable rookies and turn them into a finals winning team. And they made it in 2021 without Dimmer as a coach. And so be it, they lost. But I truly think with the amount of talent they've traded for, they've used the amount of talent they've drafted in, and Dimmer's game style, if we were to just swap the teams, I think they could have done it in that time. Right now, I truly think Kako looks incredible, Caddy looks incredible, even Nick Bryan coming up. I don't see why that he couldn't turn these rookies and sort of these fringe players like Setterfield and Durham and some of the Zach Reed, Nick Cox even, into these superstars like Vlosten, that were nobodies, Prestia, that were somebodies but not superstars, and turn them to win.
Both fucking good there, lads. That was, jeez, I'm under the pump. I don't know who to give that to. That was quite compelling.
First one, you'd hope it'd be easy, but
I think we're going to work our way into this too.
I
I reckon let's just start here.
I don't know if I have a little bit of bias against the Bombers, but I think I'm going to give it to Mui.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Good start.
Very good start.
Just. Very, very close. Mui, your reward for getting the first dub is you go straight to Judge Judy status.
Mate,
Oh,
1-0, mate. Give me my gavel. I'm ready to call order. Here we go.
Noah Anderson to be a Gold Coast Premiership captain in the future. Right, Basil, do you want to call heads or tails? Or?
considering I lost miserably, I'll call tails.
Oh, okay, tails.
Come on,
Never.
tails
fails.
never fail.
Oh, it's failed twice in a row, though. I'll take that Noah Anderson will be a future Premiership captain.
Here we go. Noah Anderson to be a Premiership captain in the future at the Gold Coast. All right. We got 3, 2, 1.
I think all you've got to do is take a look at this Gold Coast list. It's talent. It's got everything. You got Jed Walter coming on. You got Sam Collins, who I think is a very underrated fullback. And obviously Damien Hardwick, second year in charge. And he's already appointed Noah Anderson as a young captain of that football club. He is the best player in a super, super talented list. I think with their home record last season, it's a couple wins away from home and they put themselves right into like a top 6, top 4 contention this season. Noah Anderson starting the first year as captain. His first season. He's going to captain this club for 10 years. In those 10 years, you can't tell me this Gold Coast list isn't going to go all the way to the top and win a premiership cup. I believe in them so hard. I think, as I said before, Jed Walter is just going to go nuts. I think he's limitless potential. And yeah, I think Noah Anderson's the man to do it. The history of the Suns is not him. He is new. He's fresh. He's the captain that's going to take him there.
Out of time, but really, really solid start. 3, 2, 1.
All right, we've never seen the Gold Coast in finals, and as much as it hurts me to say, they're just not a destination club, and they haven't been. And we've seen countless times and countless rumours about all their players leaving again. Even today, we've seen snippets that McRae might leave. We've seen it with Lynch. We've seen it with May. All of it, even Sard. No, Sard. Yeah, Sard left. So I just think, as much as I love Noah Anderson and I love the Suns, there's so much talent around the league, and the league is so tight at the moment with lists with talent everywhere. Every team's obviously always fighting for that spot. I just can't see the Suns winning a flag, and if they do, Noah Anderson will be that premiership captain. But I don't see him making it this year. I don't see him making it next year, and I just see other teams overtaking them in the future just because everyone wants to leave. And as much as I hate it, nobody wants to stay there, and he can't win a premiership without players. That's all I'm saying.
It's
Pretty
a
solid.
very good argument as well.
Really solid. Yeah.
I think the fact that Noah Anderson already has that existing captain armband does mean that for the sake of this argument, all they have to do is win a premiership. And I know all they have to do is win a premiership. Sounds a bit far-fetched, but given he's got that captaincy role and given the good list of the Gold Coast and it's growing and Anderson's young, they've got the right leadership, I think it is possible, and I think that Cooko's points. I think Cooko's points are right. I mean, I can see why you think that players would leave, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. But I reckon this is the time to go. And Cooko, I'm going to give you the points there, mate. I reckon.
I'll take it. I thought I did all right. Lacked a bit of conviction. But when Basil started reeling off points that in my head I was like, I would use those points. I was like, all right, it could be some trouble. He summed up some of the things. It made me think, I should have spoken about how last season was one of the first years that they actually got all their players to come over again. But yeah, that was very good. I'll take that.
I'll tell you what, it's an incredible point, which I kind of contradicted as well. The home wins, you saying only a couple more means they're in that contention. It's so true.
It is.
Yeah. And I truly think that's why I lost. And what am I supposed to say? Because it's totally correct. Yeah. They play incredible at home. I want to see them do it. I really do. So
the nature of this beast, a flip of the coin can sometimes decide the outcome.
It's brutal.
Ooh, the Lions three-peat is better than the Hawthorn three-peat.
Oh, this is a great topic to judge.
This is a good one. Wow.
I'm going to enjoy this.
We're going tails. We're backing it in. We're going tails.
Wrong. Tails
always
fails.
It's due.
Oh,
hey, there it is.
All right. I'm probably going to go that the Brisbane three-peat is better. I think I've got a few points up my sleeve here, which come to mind instantly. But I am going to let you go first because I do want to rebut you a little bit here, I think. So
yes. Very good.
3, 2, go, apparently.
Hey, I think that the more modern team is just the easier argument. The years as football has progressed, the fitness has just gone out of this world. Yes, you have like Voss and Lepic and Jonathan Brown, superstar players, super physical players, but could they keep up with the likes of these Hawthorn team? Like, who is playing on Buddy Franklin, the early Buddy Franklin? Roughhead and Franklin pushing up the ground and bursting back, just far too fit, far too quick for anyone on that Brisbane team to be able to handle them. As well as the skill level. I think that Brisbane team, you think physicality and ACCA, crazy things, but the week in, week out, hitting targets all across the ground from that Hawthorn team, it was just Something you'll never see. Hodge, Mitchell, both feet, just don't miss kicks. Big time, don't miss kicks. Clean under pressure. I don't think the physicality of the Brisbane Lions would be able to match it with the fitness and the skill levels of that well-driven, what's the word? Clinical Hawthorn team. There we go.
It was after the siren, but
Oh.
We'll allow it.
we'll give you a Sam Lloyd after the siren goal. I reckon.
Lloyd.
I'll allow it.
I'll take it.
All right. How do we feel, Louis?
Well, I think Cooko's definitely gone a bit of matchup. He's gone a bit of team versus team. I actually want to dive into a little bit more about why I think the Brisbane three-peat is better than the Hawthorn three-peat. So this is where I'm going to go here with this one.
So you've both voted me 0-2 to start.
We did.
And you both give me separate arguments to judge.
Yeah.
Is it Attack Basil Day? Is that what's going
Yes.
on?
Well, we're after you, Baz.
I've probably got 2 main points here, so hit me with my 60 seconds.
Well, Louis, you've got a minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, my first point here, Cooko, is the VFL, and specifically Victoria. It is easier to win a premiership and to create a dynasty if you are based out of Victoria. And I don't mean that in a way of corruption or anything like that, but if you're expanding the league from Victoria, that's just how it is. That's automatically the way it's going to be because you play more games in Melbourne, you play bigger games in front of bigger crowds. Hawthorn were exposed to that throughout all those years, playing Collingwood, playing these big clubs, Carlton, Essendon. They had big crowds, all right? And so they were able to win these big games, all right, by playing in Melbourne more often. They had lots of superstars, meaning they had more. I think they had more talent on the list. So Brisbane did it with, I think it was a more cohesive unit. Very, very good coaching, very good leadership. And I know there were superstars around the place too, but they had to win games on the road. They had to travel to Melbourne. They had to do it consistently, and they were the best team in the comp for 4 years. No one could beat them. Brisbane, chalk it up as an L. I feel like Hawthorn had their weak moments, but they came together at the right time. Brisbane more dominant.
Tell you what, that's some
Wow.
good stuff. Already backing up the Gold Coast sort of debate with how good they are at home and how hard it is to win away games, with the Brisbane being interstate. Oh, that's clever. It's just poetic, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm fighting for your W, but that was impressive.
It's always a good sign when that happens, but I think you going the matchups did sort of expose a few things. So I'm interested to see what Judge Basil has to say here.
I've got to take all bias out of this because I really like that Hawthorn three-peat side. But there's nothing against the Brisbane side as well. So I would probably vote for the Hawthorn side personally if I was arguing, but I'm not. I'm judging, and Cooko's spot on. The players in that Hawthorn team were probably the best I've ever seen match up, but the location argument, I've changed up. The location argument for Mui is just so true.
Oh, wow.
They won 3 flags at the G, not the Gabba, at the G.
Yeah.
I've already written for Mui.
Exactly. I am going purely based off the argument that Mui's brought up from location. You've chosen the right direction. I'm giving it to Mui, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. So if Mui wins one more, it's game, set, match.
Yeah.
So, Basil, you got to give me something. What does that say? Tigers won't win a game in the 2025 AFL season.
I'm actually happy with this. I'm happy.
As you can see, this topic question here is, will the Tigers win a game in 2025? And last night, the Tigers did win a game in 2025, and it was round 1. So that is amazing, quite crazy. Never mind the topic. It's just purely the debate. We filmed this before the game happened in round 1, and I am finishing editing it as the topic has been proven correct or wrong or whatever. But don't worry about that. Keep going. Hope you're enjoying. Again, this is another reminder. Like the video if you're enjoying the video. Subscribe if you're enjoying the video. If not, that's fair. Fuck off.
With this.
This is a big coin toss because I feel like we're probably both thinking the same way here.
I think so.
I'm going tails again then.
Tails never fails. Oh.
I'm going to argue against. I think they're going to win a game. I'm going to argue against.
That's what I wanted.
Right.
I'm happy with that. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? I'll go first.
Oh, Let's
Boys,
go.
it's the AFL. Come on. No one goes winless. Even the worst teams over the last few years, no one goes winless. The Crows looked like they were going to do it in 2020, won 3 games in a row at the end of the year. The last team to do it was in 1964. It was Fitzroy. And the teams that have done it in the past, St Kilda, North Melbourne, they have been awful. And this has been in the war times. Half the players were out fighting while players were on the field. Like, my point is, it's different times now, right? Richmond they've still got stars and they've still got experience. We all think they don't because of Lawler, because of Smiley, because of the 7 picks in the first 2 rounds. What about Jaden Short? What about Tom Lynch? What about Tim Taranto? What about Jacob Hopper? Camden McIntosh, Nick Vlosten? All right, they're still experienced guys here. They can still win games. They're playing North. They're playing West Coast. St Kilda look beatable in every game right about now. There's no way Richmond will not win a game. They will win a game. They play at the G more than most other teams at home. Richmond will win a game. I don't know when, but book it in.
Jesus.
Mate, you got. I felt some malice about that. Then I'm like, that was dangerous.
Oh, I don't know if they will win a game. For the sake of the argument, let's hope so.
Mooey came correct. Jesus Christ. Just for the viewers at home, there's been no real sort of prep time. That's just all off the fly, and that's very impressive. You came with dates, with teams, with that was good. War got a mention.
War might have pushed it a little bit.
Come on, Basil. We back you, mate.
All right, so I'm going from a recruitment perspective, and we've seen North and we've seen West Coast just drizzle out over the last couple of years, and Richmond have taken an approach that we've never seen before and just off-listed everyone. They have gone, if you've got value, give it to us. Other than a couple of superstars because we need to sell jerseys, give us as much picks as you can. We have never seen anything like 7 first rounds in the 2, other than the expansion teams, and they borderline went winless, right? The reason I think they're going to go winless as well is we just saw Collingwood drop 20 goals in a row. Not 20 goals in a row, 20 goals straight, no behinds. Where's the defensive effort at all? We rarely ever see that. We saw the Dogs do it against the Bombers. They kicked 23 in a row. So many behinds. They've kicked 20 goals in a row. No behinds at all. No defensive effort. They've got no players. 2 injuries, and all their superstars that you've mentioned are out the window. And even their number 1 pick is injured. Who have they got?
Oh, no.
Fine. No, I think you did pretty well. I think you did.
It's a good counter.
I'm fighting against 60 years of history right now in winless seasons.
Uphill battle. So it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what opinion I agree with more. It's how it was relayed. And I think going with we haven't seen, this many draft picks and this approach to a rebuild since the expansion clubs, which I even think the expansion clubs came in with a lot more talent. Like the defence, the leaky defence. Who are their key defenders? Like Noah Bolton wants to be a key forward.
Ben Miller, there's a few of them.
Is Noah Bolton even going to play? We don't even know that.
Yeah, just Johnson people.
Anyway, no more convincing.
Oh, geez. To not give Mooey the point, he's very, very stiff. But for the sake of entertainment, I'm going to give Basil the point. That was huge. Uphill battle. You already get the bonus points from it. Such an uphill battle to fight.
I agree.
And I think you smashed it. I think you both smashed it.
Basil versus Cooko.
Yeah.
The comeback of the century could be on here.
Oh, Bont is better than Cripps.
I know which way you're going to argue if you win this coin toss.
Let's see who wins the coin toss, eh?
Yeah, this coin toss is big as well.
I am not too fussed who I'd have to argue with, so I'll let you call the toss.
I'll go heads this time, why not? So I love it.
It's tails.
Of course.
You know what? I'll do you a little solid here, and I'll take Bont. No, I'll take Cripper. Sorry. I'll take Cripper.
He does.
I feel you wanted the Bont.
I wanted it, but I'm always up for a challenge.
You could see it in his eyes, Cooko. He was projecting his love for the Bont through the camera.
I'll give you the pleasure of going first as well.
All right, I like that.
I respect that.
It's like a backhander gift. Like he's giving you a gift, but you've opened it up on Christmas morning and it's closed.
And he can use that against me. So it's like socks from Nan on Christmas.
Yeah, I like it. Or a Lynx Africa set. But here we go. So Basil, you're up first. You ready?
Is better than Cripps.
All right. Argument done? No, here we go.
That's it.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Now I'm going to first start by saying the margin is going to be minimal. I think they're both absolute superstars, but it's not about that. It's about that Bont's a better superstar. Why? Youngest winning captain of all time, at least in the AFL era, from what my stats say. 20 years old, took over and won a game as captain. We're probably not going to see that for a long time. Even the young superstars don't look like that. So he's the youngest winning captain ever. Consistency. He's the only man in the AFL I've ever been able to see get 15 touches and still win the game off his boot. I've never seen that before. Whereas Cripps, I feel like if he's not getting 35 touches, he ain't winning the game off his own boot. Bont can get tagged, doesn't matter. So can Cripps, to be fair, but I think the impact that Bont has on the Bulldogs team is better than the impact that Cripps has on his team. Although there's two Brownlows hanging over my head right now, I just don't think that award has as much integrity as it used to, and I think Bont's been stiff to not win one. So using that, you're going to, fair enough, Bont better than Cripps. You know what? That's my favourite topic, and I reckon I butchered that the worst. So.
No, you did all right. Actually,
You did pretty good.
all right. 3, 2, 1.
I think we start this argument with Bont is clearly the more naturally gifted footballer. It's not even a debate. Paddy Cripps is a big boy. Bont's a big boy. I think football ability, it's not even close. But that being said, I think that makes it even more impressive is that why Cripper is a better player. He's been in some terrible teams, started in some terrible teams. Bont has been in pretty good teams a lot of the way. Has Cripper, other than this season, maybe last season, has Cripper ever been a part of a side that was failing year after year? Never. He's always the guy that's standing up and bringing a shit show along with him. Bont has been a part of teams that people say that's one of the most talented lists that hasn't achieved anything. Yes, he won a flag. Yes, he made another grand final, but how good that Dogs team were for that period, they did not really achieve much, and now it looks like they're going down, and it looks like Bont's going to leave. Cripper is never leaving Carlton. He's got 2 Brownlows. He's going to be a premiership captain for the Blues. He's a warrior. He fights through injuries. Come on, Cripper.
Wow.
Oh,
incredible.
I really just made myself feel sick at the end when I went, come on.
The passion. You know what? That is incredible. I have to. It opened my eyes up a little bit, to be honest. So good luck.
I really like the points about the teams that they're in. I don't think that's talked about enough because we talk a lot about premiership success as a sort of barometer. But we all know football is 23 aside. It's not like basketball where there's less and you have more of an impact. It's certainly not like that. I loved both points. I think there's one way I'm going here, and it's because Basil, I thought you gave too many flowers to Cooker. You gave him too much ammunition. You said Cripper's got 2 Brownlows over his head. Cripper is a great player. You said something about how Cripper, can always play up in big games. I think you gave him his arguments, and I think you forgot who you were arguing for in a way. So I can't not go Cooker. I'm going Cooker.
No, I agree completely. I feel like that minute is. It sounds like a long time when you're waiting for food to cook. It feels like forever. But when you're trying to get a point across,
you were Krispy Kreme glazing Cripper.
I don't know what's going on. I have so many arguments deep in this dome as well, and none of them came out. It's like I got so passionate. They were on the tip of my tongue and refusing to come out. So I agree with you, to be honest. Incredible.
How annoying is it when it feels like the clock is going forever when you're stumbling over a few words and then it all comes to you and it's like, holy shit, where's the time?
Yeah.
2 greats of the game. I mean, now that the argument's done, Basil, we can give some flowers. Don't want you blushing too hard over there over the Crip man. You'll start to look.
I don't know if it says in the video. Yeah, I got a bit hot. I mean, it's
You're looking a bit red too, Cooko, but I don't think it's out of black. To be honest.
It's that Torquay sun coming after at me, but that's all right.
All right, well, boys, is that 2-2?
What's the score?
So I'm on 2. Louis on 2. Basil's on 1.
Okay.
So is this the decider?
This is the grand final, boys.
So Basil's gone.
This is the grand final. Congratulations, boys. And I get the
gushing over Cripper.
And I get the glory of calling it, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, this better be a good topic. This is nerve-wracking stuff now.
Oh my goodness, Craig McRae is a better coach than Chris Scott. Heads.
I thought.
Whoa.
Heads.
Whoa.
Oh, the coins are not like the tune.
All right, I am going to argue that I'm going to go against it. Craig McRae is not at the level of Chris Scott.
All right,
All
Cooko, minute on the clock for the ultimate bragging rights. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. When you look at how Chris Scott came into the AFL, he got gifted a Mark Thompson premiership. It was a walk-in premiership. Fair play. He was still the man to do it, and he's gone on to prove that he's a great coach and built time after time with that team. But Craig McRae came into a Collingwood team that looked absolutely dismal. Nathan Buckley was kicked out of the job, a legend of the club. They didn't want to get rid of Buck. The succession plan for years, him and Malthouse thrown around. Threw in this guy, Craig McRae, a little positive fella that won a few flags with Brisbane, and he came in and turned that team around into a premiership team in 1 year. Amazing. And I think after this season, we're going to go, oh my God, he's a 2-time premiership coach after 3-4 seasons. What is it? Chris Scott took him about 12 years to win 2. And it took him 10 years to build the team to win that second premiership. Great coach, but Craig McRae came in 3 years and done the same achievements that Chris Scott took 12 years to do. I just think that the future for Craig McRae is huge. He's going to win more. I don't know. Well, he's got Dacos as fuck. A little bit shaky, bit shaky.
How do you feel?
Well, there's some very good points, and some of them I agree with, obviously, because we're all footy fans here. Remind me, Collingwood didn't play finals last year, eh?
No.
Nah, just missed. Too easy. Here we go. This is...
After a salute, though.
Yeah.
In season 2.
After a premiership.
I was happy with some of my points, but the conviction I lack at times. I get a bit frazzled. I get a bit excited by my own work.
I'm not going to lie. I was shaking before, especially that first one with Essendon. I was like, oh, this is tough.
Mate,
Yeah.
Bont is my hero, and that was the worst. That was the worst argument I've ever made in my life. It's just the pressure gets to you in that moment. You know what I mean?
All right.
I went, yay, Cripper.
Yeah. All right. Cooko, that's a tough argument from you.
All right.
Louis, you've got 1 minute on the clock to beat the tough argument. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, Chris Scott was like Steve Kerr. He was given the best list in the game, and he was able to win a premiership, probably not doing much himself. But let's talk about the sustained success that Chris Scott has had down at Geelong. Finals after finals after finals. Barely missing any years, right? Well, we've grown up knowing Geelong as the culture, the powerhouse of being able to have sustained success, and then went on to win another one, right? And I don't even think that was the best team in 22. There was a lot about coaching. Did we look at the coaching adjustments during that final series with Tom Stewart, the way he worked some of those players around? Yes, it was a big smashing on grand final day, but I think that was partly to Chris Scott. Now, I want to talk about something here, and that is Collingwood, Mr. Ted Lasso, okay? He's Ted Lasso. He comes in, culture change, he's amazing. We love that about footy. Matthew Nicks has done the same at the Crows, albeit he did win a premiership, but last year, you can only win so much with culture. He misses last year. Collingwood missed because he's not quite the coach Chris Scott is from a tactical, a strategic point of view, a football mind, all right? Yes, they played at the same team at Brisbane, but the better coach is Chris Scott.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
I don't envy your position right now, Basil.
Wow. He's brought my
That's
he's brought my favorite TV show into it, and I don't really appreciate
It wasn't
that.
intentional.
I don't really appreciate that, to be honest.
And who was the man that he called Ted Lasso, which is your favourite TV show?
Oh, shots fired right there.
Look, if we want to win, but that way, then you can go ahead. You know, let's stick to the debates here.
Playing dirty, all right. Now look.
I never said I was above it.
Now, from a grand final perspective, this is what you want. I loved how Cooko brought in which was a dagger from the start. Shots fired with the Ted Lasso, but you've stabbed a dagger in Chris Scott saying he got gifted the best list of all time, pretty much, which is right.
It's true.
And what Craig McRae got the second worst list in the competition. So it was hard to follow from Mui, to be honest. And then Mui stabbed that as well. Yes, they made and won the flag, but he is the Ted Lasso that, you know. Once the competition figured them out, and that culture shock that Ted Lasso got, that culture that brought them together, and they won the flag. Once it dropped off, they missed. So this is probably the hardest decision of the video, in my opinion, and it's the grand final. I'm going to lean in the direction of Cooko with Craig McRae. I'm giving him the point. Both arguments are so correct. I loved his dagger from the beginning, and he really brought me along with that underdog story. So Cookoo's taking it.
I'll take it, boys, and I'll pay you the money for giving me the win after. If I get excited. No, that was fucking good fun. I think taking the wins at maybe slightly generous. I think it was pretty even over the board. Even Basil on the 1 point on Stitch Up Basil Day. I think the arguments from all of us are actually, pretty impressive. Like, to argue things that you don't necessarily agree with.
It's tough.
I think, we can disagree and agree with opinions and stuff, but I think it shows that we all love the game of footy ball. So, had a ball, boys. That was good.
No, us too. Very clinical in that final, composed, just like Pendle's under pressure, but able to get the job done. So
Incredible.
well done, Cooko. It was impressive.
We'll take
We
it, boys.
we need a rematch.
Rematch, part 2.
Would love to. I reckon we get the next one in person, eh?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Too easy.
So Basil can give me a slap across the face.
Yes.
Yeah, he can give you your check in person, not through the mail.
I have to at least buy you a beer because I think I got gifted a little lifeline there in the end. I think I got a compensation gift, I reckon.
No, I love that, boys. Go over and suss Ruck Rovers, boys and girls. We have boys and girls watching the channel these days.
Absolutely.
Check them out. I've been watching the lads for ages, and I'm sure many of you have as well. Love their stuff, and just drop George Wardlaw sent me in the comments because we love Georgie Wardlaw.
We love him.
We love. He's the channel hero, and thanks for getting us on. That was incredible fun, and we look forward to
doing it again.
To debate again, I suppose.
No, pleasure, boys. Just one last thing. I don't usually tell people to start podcasts because there's enough of them going around. But when I first looked you boys up, I was sure that I was going to find a footy podcast that I wanted to tune into. And when I couldn't find it, I was quite disappointed. So I reckon that's something that you boys would absolutely smash, talking footy on a podcast. So
it's certainly up for grabs now. It's the ideas in the air, so we'll see what happens. So stay tuned, everyone.
Absolutely, we'll
check it out. Ruck Rovers on TikTok, Instagram, and soon to be YouTube. With a podcast.
With a potty?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you deserve the first guest as well, I reckon.
I'll take it.
Absolutely.